Hi everyone, Alicia here at Cosmic Gateway. I hope you're having an absolutely spectacular week now that we're just moving into the second week of October 2018. So I thought I'd just give a little bit of a cosmic report update from my vantage point and just where I feel we're going over the next week and what the energies might present. So over the last week, we've had massive Schumann resonance spikes, which has been absolutely incredible to see pretty much on a daily basis. And if you follow my Facebook page, you'll see that I do regular updates just to keep people in the loop. Um, and for those who are just coming on to understanding about the Schumann resonance, it is a machine that measures the Earth's frequency or electromagnetic field. And so when we see those lines in the graphs and those spikes, it indicates a, um, a frequency jump in the Earth. And of course, we're all interconnected. So, it's impacting each and every one of us on this beautiful planet. Um, when I first started following the Schumann resonance, it was about 18 months ago or a little bit longer, but when I noticeably saw how it was impacting me, um, I noticed I would have massive outbursts of emotion and various different symptoms, very similar to how I started recording space weather going back even a few years prior to that. And I started to notice that, when solar flares would leave the sun's surface, I would start to feel massive anxiety. And so that's why I record these things and give my updates on what I'm experiencing and what I'm noticing that a lot of other people are experiencing to help them understand this process of ascension and what we're all going through. So um, this year with the Schumann resonance, it spiked much more consistently than it has ever. So it really is a tangible evidence that shows that we are definitely in the heart of this planetary ascension or dimensional shift, which is becoming more and more noticeable each day through our own experiences. So it's just wonderful to see, and I just thought I would just share a little bit about that. Um, 18 months on, I don't have the intense emotional outbursts that I used to when the Schumann would spike. And, I put that down to sort of acclimatizing or becoming more used to this upward shift in frequency. And it's very individual depending on where you're at on your path, so that it's not just one symptom, but, collectively we do share and feel different sensations at the same time, especially if you're very deeply connected to energies and the earth itself. So that's been absolutely spectacular. Over the past week, there was a very big influx in high vibrational energy that kind of put me, and I know a lot of other people, into quite a blissed out space. And what I noticed with the energies in the cosmic energies and solar energies and all this beautiful energy coming in, that um, we tend to go through an upward shift. So we might feel very good and feel an influx of energy that's coming into our body, and then that would be followed by a day or two of integration, and that's sort of how we kind of acclimatize as we go on this upward spiral. So right now, I'm recording this on Sunday, so Sunday the 7th. It's forecast for some solar winds or geomagnetic storms coming in over today and tomorrow. I haven't checked space weather just to see where it's at, but I don't necessarily feel the effects just kicking in just yet. But the way I see and understand the solar winds, the effects that it has on us is when they kick in, um, that's kind of that rest and integration period. And generally, what we can sense is um, heightened emotions, sleepiness, feeling lethargic, um, a lot of kind of mental thoughts looping. I share this often, and the way that I understand it, or the way that I see it impacts me is that when we have these solar winds kicking up and at a fast pace, it kind of impacts our energy field. And what happens is it kind of rattles out anything that doesn't serve us emotionally, mentally, physically. So it kind of rattles it all up so that it can be released. And that's why it's so important to take those time to, rest, hydrate, get out in nature. Where I am today, it's a beautiful day here. We're starting to get some nice weather here in Melbourne. um, and do whatever kind of supports you in that moment, and that's really, really important. So I'll keep continuing update as I always do, um, just to help everyone sort of understand better their own journey and where they're at, and the things that they can do to find relief. um, so we've just had Venus go into retrograde in Scorpio. Yeah, I'm not an astrologer. I don't get into it a lot, but I know that it does certainly impact us a lot. So a lot of relationships being highlighted, relationship aspects being highlighted, and very deep transformational stuff. And this is quite pivotal, you know, especially being in the sign of Scorpio. It is about death and rebirth and transformation. And I noticed the day that it kicked in, like the effects, I could sort of see amongst, friends and family and soul family and clients that it was starting to bring up some stuff for reevaluation. And that's what a retrograde period is all about, is reevaluation of that aspect. So depending on your chart and where you're at, it's going to impact you differently. But just know that we are releasing these kind of heavier taboo aspects around relationships and sex and taboo and all that, just to come to the surface for the collective as well. So it'll be very interesting to see what sort of transpires on a global scale as well. Um, so we're moving into, we've got the 1010 gateway coming up this week. I do feel that it may be a heightened period similar to what it was last month on 9/9, with a massive influx of energy coming in. So we'll have to wait and see. But it does feel like it's kind of leading in and it's ramping up. I have been shown all year that um, after equinox, the energies will amplify and become more tangible. And if you kind of look into the sky, we're getting all sorts of beautiful colors. The sky at night seems to have changed significantly if you take notice of those things. So it's very, very interesting, transformational time on the planet and for all of us individually. So, I guess my message for this week and going into October is to stay as much as you can in your balanced and equilibrium space, because that's what's the most important thing. Honor where you're at, and don't sweat the small stuff. In the bigger scheme of things, um, that time will pass. It's showing you something. It's giving you profound insight to your own self and your own transformation. Um, and take some time to do something nice for yourself. That's important too. So, um, moving into this week's readings, I'll do another 3 intuitive guidance readings for the second week of October. And I've got the cards here that I'll be doing. So let's bring them down for a second. So this will be reading A, or card A. So just tune in, whatever one takes your fancy. This will be B, card B, or reading B. And the third one, C, this one here. All right, so choose your card. I will do the individual videos. If you feel guided with working with me, or booking a session, I do a lot of energy work to help people move through their own awakening and ascension journey. And I do a lot of divine partnership. Sorry, my phone's talking. um, twin flame energy alignment. So I'll put all the details of the most sought after sessions that I offer in the description box below, or if you're unsure, you can always contact me, send me a message or email. Until next week, I hope you have a fabulous week. Mwah.